What's going on, Airsofters? This is Jeans from Army of Bros, and I'm here with
Swiff, also from Army of Bros.
We're here to talk to you a little bit about where we went a couple days ago. It was EOA Airsoft, Elite Ops Airsoft. We had a blast. Is there anything that you would, kind of like to say towards this?
Yeah, it's a little bit north of Atlanta. Great field. I think it's about $20 to play all day. They have everything you need there. You can rent guns, barrel socks, eye protection, face protection. They do have a 400 FPS max, which is good for us since we normally play in the field. A lot of our guns are shooting a little bit too hot for most CQB fields. But just for whatever reason, this field was awesome. They allow up to 400 feet per second, which meant we didn't have to do any modifications or upgrades to our guns before we went in.
Right. And the staging area was just superb. You're looking at it right now. It was very well put together, very well spaced out. You definitely did not have issues with finding your own space. If you look right here, the pro shop, by itself was,
they had a good stock in there.
Amazing. I think it was VFC, I think was the Airsoft brand that they were mostly doing.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong on that. If you look up those stairs where we're going and where I'm at, looking down at the camera, you have more equipment, but the stairs themselves actually led to a place that you could view some of the action that was going on. So if you weren't playing the actual Airsoft game, you could see what's going on.
So right now this is kind of a top-down view of the field. Over there in the center of your screen, you can see that viewing area that Jeans was just talking about. And overall the field was awesome. There was a lot of really close quarters kind of on the left side, and then on the right where there were the tires and it was a little bit darker. It offered some longer shots. So you actually wanted to make sure your hop-up was dialed in to nail some of those people from a little ways away.
Right. The field was... I felt like the field was pretty balanced, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
It was... I felt like, one side basically had the same amount of cover as the other side. As you're viewing right here, they had, certain points. You had spawn, of course, and from spawn, you had this little city area with a pole in the middle, in which you would have an objective. And then on the other side, you had this really cool, almost a bridge thing that you would kind of skateboard over and slide down, which there were a couple of those times.
They actually had the slick surface that you could slide down like it was a slide.
And, those people pull some James Bond stuff. They slid down and they shot at you, and, occasionally they'd hit you. I did the same thing a couple times.
But overall, just as a point to hit on, it was a pretty young player group out there. We were definitely some of the older guys.
Absolutely.
I think there might have been maybe 5 or 6 other guys over 18. Nothing wrong with that, just something to keep in consideration. And these smaller kids, they fit through stuff that we don't. They can find corners that we can as well. So it was definitely an interesting balance having them out there.
Yeah, it was. It was still fun though. You had this. They knew the place. Unlike us, we were the new people there, and they definitely took that to their advantage. They knew all the nicks and crevices that you could hide behind. All the game objectives, and there was a learning curve definitely at the beginning. But overall, it was great.
Great time.
I had a great experience.
The staff was great. They had their briefings before every game. They essentially brief everyone the same because people will show up in between games, so they have to treat every game like it's the first. The staff's very knowledgeable. They make sure to hit all the points in a timely manner. I don't think the briefings ever went more than 5 minutes. But you got a clear and concise message of what was happening for this game, and you were ready to go play. The refs were great. If you had issues with anyone not calling hits, I think there might have been 1 or 2, and they'd go talk to them and make sure that wasn't an issue. Generally, it wasn't anything intentional. We're wearing gear and everything, so
yeah, and it was. Yeah, I'll point out there was a couple times. Well, I won't say a couple times. There was one time where I got hit, and for some reason it took me a second to register. I was like, I got hit. Yep. Let me call this. And those things happen, and I didn't have any problems with the guy that hit me. He was like, "Oh, I think you're hit." I was like, "Yeah, you're right." They were very friendly. In other words, they didn't say, "Oh, you're hit." It was a nice, friendly atmosphere overall. Great group of guys.
The refs also instigated some pretty good game types. Our favorite, personally, was it was more of a one flag capture the flag with a box in the middle, like a bomb.
The box was amazing. Yeah.
And you took the box from the middle to the enemy base and blew it up. I think the game lasted maybe 15 minutes, something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
ended up winning.
it did. It was difficult. it was really hard.
It wasn't a rushed game. It was one where you actually had to work with your teammates and suppress them and push up on one side.
Methodically think about it.
Exactly. It was a predominantly semi-auto field. I'm sure that's for insurance purposes and stuff. I know they did one full auto game at the end of the day. Honestly, I was fine with that. If you had... There's probably 30 people on the field at any given time, maybe more.
Right.
If you can think about 30 people in that area with full auto, like, you can't move. There's just going to be plastic BBs going everywhere.
And speaking of, full auto and things like that, along the sides of equipment, you're looking right now at this smoke that you see. To me, yeah, it does look cool, but honestly, it served no purpose in a place like this. Grenades just kind of... they didn't help us out any.
Yeah, you might get one person in a room, but there's 14 others coming up behind them. So,
right.
Like, any types of thunder bees or tornado grenades really didn't help you that much.
And one thing that they brought up was you could only throw a smoke, like a smoke grenade on one side of the building, because on the other side there was a fire alarm. And
it would set off at the smoke.
Right, and the smoke would set off the fire alarm, and they would have to go through this whole process, and that would just be no fun.
So overall, a great field. The one thing I want to hit on that was a downside to me is how the respawn was set up. You just walk through this door, a green door to respawn and a red door to exit, which is great. It kept anyone from bumping into each other. But the problem is you'd have people holding in the red door. They wouldn't respawn because they could see the people getting ready to shoot them, so they just stand there and respawn and block the door for other people, or they just wait until the attention was turned somewhere else and they get shot. The best suggestion I could think of to fix that, if you put just a small wall in front of the door to make room so that you can still get in and out of the doorway, but now you can't see where someone is, it's going to force people to go respawn and come out, and that way they can continue the game. Because I literally sat there and watched a kid for 2 minutes while he flashed me with a flashlight from the respawn to annoy me until I finally looked away so he could shoot at me.
Right, right.
But
yeah.
Other than that, great field, really enjoyed it.
It was just overall just awesome. I mean, the experience, we're over here, these South Georgia boys, we're used to playing in fields, and, we just get in there and we have to dip and dive and duck and dodge. It was just really interesting, totally just unbelievably different from what we're normally, used to. It was a different environment. It was fun. It was safe. They made sure, you followed the rules. I think everybody there they had fun. They really did.
So if you're ever in the northern Atlanta area for a weekend, definitely go check out Elite Ops Airsoft.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, that's it for today. So I hope you all enjoyed it. We'll probably be doing a few more of these later on the line, so keep a lookout, keep an ear out. This is Army of Bro Jeans, and we are out of here.
Have a good one, guys.